What's going on with the St. Louis Cardinals right now is one of the weirdest things that I think I have ever seen in baseball. By now, it's well documented that the St. Louis Cardinals are just not performing to the way that they're supposed to be performing. How does a team with Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Montgomery, Nootbaar, Wilson Contreras, Tommy Edman, how does a team like this, at the time of this recording, have a 12-24 record? They are tied for the third worst record in baseball. The Oakland A's hold that illustrious title, 8-28 so far. The Royals are 10-26, and they're tied with the White Sox right now, who are also 12-24, again at the time of this recording. The Cardinals are 1-8 in one-run ball games this season. They are 0-18 when trailing after 7. 0-18 when trailing after 7. They are 2-15 when their opponents score first. And they've even lost 3 different games this season when taking a lead into the 9th inning. And look, I don't want to just pile on. Cardinals fans who are probably clicking on this video probably know all these things, and these numbers are likely just solidifying what they've already been feeling all year. The Cardinals have not lost 90 games since the 1990 season, and they haven't lost 100 games since 1908. And look, yeah, it's May. Tons can happen. They can go on a streak. They go rattle off 6 in a row, and all of a sudden things don't look so bad, right? But there is still definitely something to be said that this season very clearly is not going according to plan. And the St. Louis Cardinals, who are the clear favorite, at least on paper, to win the NL Central, are suddenly finding themselves way down in the standings, way further than anybody thought they would be. And again, look, it's May. There's a million things that can happen. And for the most part, the Cardinals' offense has definitely been there. In most major offensive categories, you find them either in the middle of the pack or near the top, honestly. But the thing for them right now is, of course, just haven't really been able to pitch very well outside of guys like Jordan Montgomery. And while the St. Louis Cardinals have tried to explicitly say, and have explicitly said, that all these issues are not Wilson Contreras' faults, their actions are kind of speaking louder than their words right now. The Wilson Contreras thing of this whole situation has just kind of spiraled everything into this crazy flurry that surrounds this team. To the uninitiated who don't know what's going on, the other day, the Cardinals said that Wilson Contreras, who was their prized off-season signee, taking him from the rival Cubs, is no longer going to be catching, at least whatever for a couple weeks means. They brought up Trace Barrera from Memphis, which at the time gave them 3 catchers on the roster, and everyone's going, well, what's going to happen here? And then they announced that Wilson Contreras is no longer going to be catching, instead going to be DHing and playing the outfield. Then Wilson Contreras came back to the Cardinals and said, dude, I'm not playing the outfield. Wilson's played a little bit of outfield in his major league career, but let's be real, he's been a DH and a catcher, which is what he was signed to do. This move seemingly also came as a surprise to Wilson Contreras, and this whole thing has just kind of spiraled and doesn't make any sense to anybody. The part that just doesn't make sense to me here, amongst many things, is 30 games and you're done with it? You have a 5-year contract on this guy. He was supposed to be the Yachty replacement. And 30 games in, you're going, nah, we're good? That just doesn't make any sense. They keep talking about this, and I've seen in multiple instances where they're pointing to how he's not familiar with the pitching staff, and yeah, they got a new pitching coach and all this stuff. It's like, well, how else do you get familiar with the pitching staff if you're not working with that pitching staff? How do you get familiar with your pitchers if you're in left field or if you're DHing? And the Cardinals keep talking about this internal plan with Wilson Contreras, which I don't even know what that means. And they've been super reluctant to even say what that means. And I got to imagine, I'm not even a Cardinals fan. And this is just frustrating and infuriating and confusing. I can't even imagine how St. Louis Cardinals fans feel right now. This whole start to the year has just been completely tainted in St. Louis. It was this big deal with Jordan Walker. Now he's back in AAA. O'Neal's hurt. Jack Flaherty isn't pitching well. And now Wilson Contreras is not catching anymore. For a team that just is completely riddled with talent, they're now just completely riddled in confusion. Again, like I said, I'm not even a Cardinals fan, and this is just kind of frustrating. All I know is that the St. Louis Cardinals need to get it together relatively soon before this season becomes a lost cause. Yes, again, it's only May, but if they can't get this together within the next couple of weeks to month, they're going to be too far gone. And this is just one of the most surprising things that we have seen this year. And it doesn't seem like it's calming down or getting a handle of itself anytime soon. If you're a Cardinals fan, let me know in the comment section down below what you're feeling right now. I got to imagine it's just frustration and confusion. Again, if I'm feeling that, I can't even imagine how you're feeling. If you're new here, hit subscribe. I do content like this every week here on my YouTube channel. And of course, we're always talking baseball. Thanks so much for checking me out. I'm Steve Granado. Later.